This week, the biggest party of the summer, the Tampa Pro. And it's in his hometown, and Phil Clahar is coming only for one thing, and that is victory. Check out the interview right here, right now on AJ's World of Bodybuilding. And remember to subscribe. Welcome everyone to AJ's World of Bodybuilding, and we're joined by the Jamaican Tank, Phil Clahar. How are you feeling today, sir?
All right, AJ. Thank you for having me, buddy.
We are 1 week out, correct? Less than
Less,
1 week
less
out.
than that. Less than that.
How do you feel right now? 5 days out. 5 days out, I think we are right now.
I mean, I feel great. Besides feeling being tired and exhausted, that's what's expected at this point. We're completely depleted. We'll start carbon up probably Tuesday night.
Okay.
Then I'll feel a little bit better. But show-wise, man, I'm ready to roll.
You're ready to roll. Quick for people who don't know your background that well. Can you talk to us a little bit? When did you get your pro card? At what age? When did it happen?
I got my pro card in 2017 at the Ben Weider Cup. It was a international show in Toronto, Canada.
What type of competition was there? Was this because this is a big show, correct?
Yeah, it was a very big show. It was international, so it was everybody from all over, every country, United States, Mexico, everywhere. It was packed. It was probably one of their most biggest shows at that time. They said. I think the lineup in the super heavyweights was 15 or more, something like that.
Wow. So it's harder there than some of the pro qualifiers we see today then.
Oh, it was very tough because when I entered that show, I knew I came in at my best at the time. The lineup was no joke. I mean, of course, I entered the Masters and the Open, and I told my wife if I can't get my pro card in the Open, then I'm not going to pursue bodybuilding at all. And I ended up winning the Open and the overall at 42 years old.
Why did you wait so long to go? Because the muscle density, and you have this, it's not something you just gotten. Obviously, you have had this quality muscle before. Why did you wait so long to go for your pro card?
It's a lot of obstacles I was running into at the time. I mean, when I moved up here in 2008, I hooked up with Tim Gardner and I won the Florida State and the overall there. We were trying to make some moves to compete in the nationals, but at that time, you had to be a United States citizen at that time, which we all know now you do not have to be. So that just made some things difficult because I had to try to compete internationally, and by doing that, we know how it goes. They're going to favor their athlete over someone trying to come to their country to get their pro card. So I just decided to hang it up for about 8 years and just concentrate on my business. I never stopped training. I still train as a bodybuilder and as if I was going to do a show. I just didn't compete for 8 years.
But did you have this tremendous, for example, your back is obviously one of the best backs in the entire world. Did you have this same development and you were just watching the other guys step? How did that feel when you were looking at the other guys? That show I could have won. That show I could have won. Was it like that or?
I mean, it was very frustrating, especially when at the time I was hearing certain individuals that were pros that were not citizen. I mean, when I started hearing these things, I mean, of course, that affect me. And, I looked at it and said that, yeah, I could stand up with the best of the best. To me, age really doesn't matter because, you take care of yourself. If I don't tell anybody my age, nobody can guess my age.
Correct.
I mean, I look younger than these young cats that's 30 years old competing. I mean, they may be 30 and they look older. I mean, I took good care of myself. I got God blessed and given genetics, you know what I'm saying? And I just don't age. That's what a lot of people say. I just don't age. So yeah, I look back at a lot of things back then and thought about what I could have and should have done. But you know what? Honestly, it was in my best interest that I did take that time off because, I mean, it actually preserved my body. I mean, I probably wouldn't be producing now at this later age if I did keep going back then. I probably would have been done much sooner.
Before we go into this season, also what's very impressive, you got so many kids. You got so many grandkids. You've taken in grandkids during your prep. I remember, I think it was from Texas. You had 3 more grandkids staying with you.
Yeah.
Cardio 2 times a day. You still have a full-time job. This is not your everyday average pro. Can you tell us a little bit about your schedule?
Well, one, I run my own business, so I get to make my schedule around my training. I do have a very taxing schedule. I have people that I train in person. I have people online, and as well as athletes, clients that do compete. With the home life of the grandchildren and everyday living, yeah, I mean it's a tough task, very very tough. Especially with definitely dieting with young 3 young boys, fighting and screaming and all the other stuff that's going on. That's why, like, when I sit back and I listen to some of these podcasts with some of these individuals, I'm not going to call any names, that want to sit and talk. Oh, well, he's 50. First of all, I'm not 50 years old. I'm 48 years old.
Mm.
And that I'll be great as I'm a great pro as an older bodybuilder and so forth and so on. But I would love to just see one of these guys do what I do.
Mm.
I don't just get to work out and eat and train, and that's my life. I mean, I got to get up in the morning. I got to work. I work 2 shifts a day. I have a morning shift. Then around 12:30, I train, and then I come back again around 4 o'clock for my night shift, and it repeats itself. So this is with handling, getting up in the morning at 5 in the morning doing cardio.
Mm.
Coming home, showering, eating, and then getting dressed and running right out the door. And coming home and be able to take a nap right after I train in the evening and go back again. I mean, this is an everyday process every single day.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So no one of these bodybuilders can do that. Back in the day, yes, in the 80s and 90s, they all had full-time jobs. So, but now I think some of these guys are a little spoiled. So, you know what I mean? But I like what I do. It actually makes me appreciate, winning and placing well with everything that I have on my plate. It's just much more rewarding.
Um, 2021, everyone knows how that went. You were the breakout performer that people didn't maybe expect. Chicago 2022, people, you can watch a great interview over at MD with Ron Line. You had a great one where you expressed what happened during the Boston Pro. Orlando, before you tell me how that went, legs, especially the quad sweep, they're improved. Chest,
Yes.
chest is it's a lot fuller. It's more meat there now. This
Yeah.
is so even though you did well at Orlando, but the body parts have been growing this year, correct?
Yeah. And that's another thing that a lot of people speculate, that as you get older, one, your waist gets bigger and all these things happen. And like I said, I mean, if you put the work in, regardless of what age you are, and that's
Mm.
why I'm glad I have young and seasoned, I don't want to say older, seasoned fans and athletes out there that's following me and enjoying the journey that I'm on.
Mm.
Uh, if you take care of yourself and you do the necessary things and do your homework, listen to what the judges tell you and make a point to focus on that and fix it, a lot of great things come out of what I do. I mean, I know for a fact I have the structure that they like. I know Steve Weinberger already told me that he likes my structure. You know
Mm.
what I mean? I just got to continue to evolve and continue to do better. I'm not trying to be a mass monster. I don't want to be that. I
Mm.
just want to have those beautiful lines, that fullness, and round muscle bellies, and I'm satisfied with that type of symmetry.
So Orlando, before we talk about Tampa, were you happy with the look? Were you happy with the placement? What's your reaction after Orlando?
You
Third
know what?
place.
I was not happy with the placement. I think I believe I could have, I should have took second. That's what I believe. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason, because honestly, Orlando is what pushed me to bring something special at Tampa this year. Each show I learned from it, you know what I mean? And you got to, you talk to the judges, You take in what they say, but then I know the look that I need to have. Was I happy with Orlando? Somewhat, yes. It was definitely better than Boston, even though I ran into some obstacles at Boston. Uh, but the thing is, I came in at the night show better in Orlando. I was a little flat in the morning. I wasn't myself in the morning. I knew I was not filled in the morning.
Mm.
But I came back at the night show and everything was popping. Chest was fuller, everything was fun. And a lot of some gentlemen's made a podcast and say, you could tell Phil when he knows he's not on. And
Mm.
in the morning, you could see it, he wasn't on, but when he came back at the Orlando at night, his attitude was different. He knew he was on. But at the end of the day, they could say they're rejudging or whatever they want to say. The decision was already done in the morning. You may get a little nudge at night, if you're battling for like second and let's say third and fourth, you can nudge out that guy and take that third spot. Yes, but I was okay with the physique, but was not completely happy. I knew that I had to make a decision and a change. I know when I'm at my best. I know how I feel when I'm at my best, and I feel absolutely horrible the way I'm
Mm.
feeling now.
That's the way you're feeling now.
Is the way I'm feeling now. So I know, God willing, I made it this far. God ain't gonna bring me this far to not let me finish. I had to dig very, very deep. And you guys have a surprise. I don't want to talk about it. I want to be about it. I want to step on stage and I want everybody to say, holy shit, what the hell this guy could have done in 5 weeks to completely look like this. So it's a big surprise. And I put my work in and everybody is going to see the work I put in.
I even see you were jogging on your Instagram the other day. What's going on? You were even jogging. I haven't seen 260 pounds jogging 1 week out.
You know what? I have a different attitude and a different flow this time around. Uh, this is my hometown.
Yes.
That's what I made that breakout last year was in Tampa, and then we went and had some fun in Texas, right? So this is my hometown.
Mm.
So I gotta show up and show out for my fans and my people in my hometown.
Mm.
So I always bring something special to Tampa. I always do. This is probably going to be something I didn't even in my godforsaken mind believe I was possible to bring what I'm bringing. I did not believe it.
Wow.
Sometimes I second guess myself and believe that, how much can I continue to improve at my age? But God has let me know that all things are possible through Christ Jesus. And with Him guiding me and showing me that you're not finished, I can't wait. I'm tired. I'm exhausted, but I'm so excited really on the inside. I don't show pictures, but if I did show pictures, I think some of the pros that shown up to the show would be nervous.
And I gotta say, watching you compete, one of the best moments as Phil Clahar fans is when you get fired up on stage and you see the other guys, they're fading. You see they're fading and they're you can tell their waist is starting to let go and you're getting on better and better and your crowd gets into it and you're confident and oh, you should have won last year's Tampa, shouldn't you, Phil? You should have won it.
Yeah. But back to what you say in the running. So, I was doing my cardio because I was doing HIIT. I do HIIT for the first 5 minutes, HIIT cardio. And then I do moderate cardio. Because we wanted to dig deep, deep into the fat tissue and bring something crazy. I mean, we wanted to get my body to the leanest point possible. You know what I mean? And I was just walking and I was like, the music just came on. And sometimes you just have that feeling. I was like, you know what? Let me jog for about 2 minutes. I can do this. You know what I mean? And I did it, and I felt good when I got done doing it. So, you know what I mean? I'm feeling young, man. Honestly, tell you the truth, man, I have never felt this good for a prep. It may have been hell, but now that it's coming to the end, I never felt this good and this positive going into this show that I just believe at the end of this show, victory is going to be mine. I truly believe it.
You had great success last year with Phil Wiss. You changed to George Farah this year. You touched on why, but what's one of the good differences you believe that George Farah has that you learned from George Farah working with him?
I did not use George Farrell for this prep.
Oh, really?
No. Nothing. They'll get this. They'll get this wrong. I'm very, very close to George Farrell. We're like family. I love the guy to death. You don't
Okay.
understand. I love him to death. It was just something that I had to do on my own
Ooh,
and make a decision call because I know how I have to look at a certain point in a prep.
okay.
Size is not what I want to bring. I don't want to worry about size. I want to come in absolutely peeled,
Mm,
peeled to the skin, to the bone. So I had to make an executive decision. And I did speak with him and I told him that I was going to do this one. We were going to do this one on our own. And I still wanted his support. I do still send him pictures. He still give me insight. And the last pictures I sent him Saturday, he said, Phil, you look ridiculous. Once you fill up, you're going to give some people some serious problems. So he's still involved, but I just went a different route this time. It was a hard decision to make, but I mean, AJ, listen, man, you've been a supporter of me from day one. I have to win. I have to get to the Olympia. I have to get to the Olympia. That's why I came back after 8 years. This is why I'm still doing it.
mm.
I asked the Lord above to help me get my pro card. He did it on his time. I got it at 42 years old in a stack lineup and won an overall. I mean? I asked God just to let me stand on that Olympia stage. That's all I want to do is be able to stand on that Olympia stage and just get that dream as that 13-year-old when I first picked up weights to train and said that I can look like these guys on these front cover magazines. And I just want to step on that Olympia stage. And I've never been so positive that it's going to happen at Tampa. I truly
Wow.
believe it's going to happen at Tampa. So I had to make that decision. And big ups and much love to George. And like I said, he's still in my corner. He's still my supporter, but I had to go a different route this time.
Wow, that's interesting. And also you don't like to travel. So this show is in your hometown, correct? There's no flying, there's no water retention, there's no stress, there's nothing around it now, correct?
No, no, it's right here. We're going to be at the hotel early. I will be there Thursday. Normally I get there Friday. I want to be there Thursday to just relax. I want to focus. I want to zone in. I just want to be away from home and just get my mind right. Of course, Patty will be there to keep a close eye on me because, like I said, this is the leanest I ever been. And of course, any bodybuilder, when you get to this point, you have to have someone in that hotel room with you
Mm.
to make sure everything goes right. I feel good. She is checking on me constantly. Everybody in the gym have said that this is the tightest they ever see my face. And I said, I'm depleted. I'm not even carved up yet.
Mm.
So I'm just excited, man, to display. I have so many people coming to this show. It's going to be a Jamaican Tank moment. The crowd's going to go nuts. My music is going to be fire. And we're just going to bring the house down, man, with the Holy Spirit of God. And it's going to be something fantastic and something not to ever. I just require, I hope you're zooming in and you're watching, man. But I wanted to come out there, bro, to the Arnold, trust me. But you know what I mean? One day I'm gonna come out there. I want to meet you in person. I definitely want to meet you in person. Like I said, you've been the number one supporter, man. I love you. But I just needed to just stay focused, stay close to home, and do my best to try to bring this home. And that's what my game plan is to bring it home.
This is going to be an incredible show, guys. Tampa Pro will be streamed. Tim Gardner Productions. Akeem Williams is jumping in, the big man. Kamal,
Yes,
the 212
it's
champion,
gonna
is
be
going to.
battle of the ages. Me and Kamal.
That's going to be something. And then we obviously have Quinton Uriah, who has a
Oh, that's my
fantastic.
boy. Yes, Quentin is my
And
boy.
this is going to be the biggest show of the summer, Phil.
What do you always say? This is going to be epic.
This is going to be epic. This is guaranteed. If you win, will you do Texas anyway?
But we don't work on if. We don't say if. When I win,
When you win?
no,
No.
no. I would just want to focus on one, taking a little break, getting my blood work done, and do the necessary things, and then focus on going to the Olympics. I think the guys that's going there, Quentin's going there. Quentin's a big. That kid is nasty. He's a big prospect. Me and Quentin, we're very, very close.
Mm.
I love that guy. We talk, we communicate. I can't wait to see him because I don't get to see him much because they're all the way in Canada. But that kid is going to be something dangerous, man. Quentin's going to be something dangerous. And Akeem, I met him at Olympia. He's an awesome dude. I love this guy. My thing is, I love every one of these bodybuilders and I respect everyone. Nothing ever negative I have to say about any one of these guys. I really hate when I see them get online, they want to chop each other up. I mean, it's all fan to try to sell tickets or whatever the case may be, but respect is key. You know what I mean? My mom always told me, if you don't got nothing positive to say, then keep your mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? I love every one of these bodybuilders. We all put our work in. We're all trying to feed our family and do what's right. So I'm just going to get up there and I just want to show out for my fans, the crowd, and put on a great show with these great bodybuilders on stage in Tampa Pro.
Last thing, can we get any clue what's the posting song you're doing?
All I can tell you is if you ever heard Muhammad Ali when he hit those drums and said the champ is here,
Really?
yes, it's gonna be nice. But like I said, you got to bring a physique.
That's
Like I
worthy.
told my wife, I said, listen, I have to come in absolutely undeniable. Everybody keeps saying, well, if you just come in looking like last year Tampa, it's yours.
No, yeah,
No,
no.
I have to come in undeniable. My goal was to beat Tampa last year, and we did it. We beat Tampa.
With that, good luck. We can't wait to see you on stage. And I really pray I will see you at this Mr. Olympia.
It's gonna happen, man. So you'll be my first interview when this show's over.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.